Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and we're back in the mines of Brimstone. We just started our first mission in this campaign of Shadows of Brimstone. The mission is called... what is it called? I'm not sure actually. For Fistful of Dark Stone or something like that. And we had our first fight, which was basically pretty successful. We fought 3 tentacles, which was a pretty simple fight. So yeah, overall we were doing fine here. So now we're going to cross that room, and that's kind of special. It's the Void Lair, and everything is filled with spider webs. So as long as we are in this room, we have a penalty on our fighting values. So I want to avoid a fight as long as I'm in this room. Let's see that we can get here as fast as possible. So first we're starting again with this roll for the depth track. And that was good. We needed more than 7, no problems here. And now again the gunslinger, because he has the highest initiative, will start the turn. So that's a 4, and it's this guy here, and he now simply enters here 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is all he does. Yeah, and then it's the saloon girl, and she found that hunting knife, or basically Bandido, he has found that hunting knife and gave it to her. So she's now not such a bad fighter anymore. Let's see. That is a 2. She's fast, which gives her +1. Still, it's not that great. So she's got 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm wondering if I should scavenge that room with her. I could do that. And I think I will actually. Yeah, why not? I think I'm gonna scavenge that room with her. Remember, you can scavenge a room only once. So yeah, let's draw from this deck. And you have to shuffle that deck before you draw, because there is no discard pile for it. So that's why I have to stop the camera here. So I'm not cheating here. Let's see what it is. Well, that's Hideous Discovery. Gives 10 experience points. Poking around in the shadows, you see something that chills you to the bone. You quickly return to the group, refusing to speak of what you found. Take 3 horror hits. Lose 2 sanity for each horror hit failed. So that's pretty bad. But okay. So this is here our willpower. And it's kind of a defense value for horror hits. So we can roll now 3 dice, and every 4 or higher is a successful willpower test. Ah, damn it. That was close here. So we take 4 horror hits, we lose 4 sanity. Okay. Yeah, exactly. And then we will gain 10 experience points And this room is scavenged, so I'm going to place a marker here. Finally, the bandito over here rolls a die. So that's a 3. And he also enters this room and simply moves in here. Okay, so that's the end of that turn. And let's go on. First again, this hold back the shadow roll. So that's a 3. So this time we were not successful, and that means that the shadow now gets a little bit closer to the main entrance. And the gunslinger will start the activation phase again with a movement roll of 6. Oh my god. That is pretty amazing. Yeah, so I guess he will... Well, we could explore... I'm not sure. I think I'm going to move here. But I'm not gonna explore. I'm not gonna peek here. I'm not gonna look through that door. I want to wait for the others, so that if there will be an attack in this new room. On the other hand, it's interesting. I mean, I wanted to get them out of this room as soon as possible. But now I'm thinking, actually, if there will be an attack in this room, maybe it makes sense to look with him and wait with the others. I don't know. No, I think I will let the others come closer in this area, and then we'll see what happens in the other room in the next turn. So it's now the saloon girl, and that's a 4 plus 1 because she's fast. So it's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very well. That's exactly the place where she should be. And then it's the bandito, and that's a 4. That's also fine, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that was pretty good. We all made it through this room now, and in the next turn we will start to explore the new one. Okay, so let's roll again for this track. So that is a 7, and that's just enough to be successful. So again, it's the gunslinger, and let's roll. That's a 3 for movement. And I'm not going to move, but now I'm going to peek in this room, and I'm going to draw a card from the map deck. Okay, that is a switch curve. And that also counts as a room, so we will also have an encounter there. Let's find this map tile. Okay, so it's this one here. Looks really nice. And as you can see here, there's the green arrow. So we have to place it like this. Okay, and so I can already see that this game has a really big footprint. So I wonder if I can play these really big scenarios, these the pre-built map scenarios. If I can play them on the table at all, I might need a bigger table for that. I don't know. Whatever. So let's place now an exploration marker there. Okay, here we are. So that was the gunslinger. And now it's the saloon girl. Oh, dice tray, here we go. And that is a 1, which is not so bad because that gives her a grid. And well, okay, let's simply enter this 1, 2, I think that's fine. And then finally it's the bandito, and he has a 4. So it could be interesting now to move with him maybe a little more here, because then he has line of sight to this area. And I think that would be the place where monsters would appear. So maybe we should go there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so he's right here. Okay, so after we've done the hero activation phase, this is now the exploration phase, and we can reveal this token. And that is an attack, as you can see, and it also indicates that there is 1 exit here. So let's see where we find this exit. Again, we have to take a look here at the map card. So we will move down, and this up here is closed. Okay, let's see. Take this one. Okay, and I guess that means that the enemy comes from here. Although that is far further away, but it's close. But this is something I have to check. So let's see now. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to draw a card from the threat deck. And because we are 3 players, if you're playing 3 or 4 heroes, you draw from the medium threat deck. So let's see. Okay. So that is 1 slasher and a number of hellbats. Okay, let's see. Well, we have the slasher right here. That seems like a pretty bad guy. Let's see him here. Doesn't look very nice. And let's see how many hellbats there are. 3. Okay, that's okay. We were lucky here. So let's see. 1, 2, and 3. So here we go. Oops. So these are the hellbats. So then we have to check for these. Here we got the hellbats. Here we are. And let's find the slasher. Damn it. Okay, so the slasher has an initiative of 4. The hellbats have an initiative of 6. And when placing monsters, we start with the lowest initiative enemy. So we place the slasher first, and he will start here. They start at on the square farthest away from the entrance. So it's not here, but definitely that one. And then we're going to place our bats, and one will be placed here. and the other two are then placed here, just like that. Okay, here we are. Let's see. So that was now the exploration phase. That means that we start now another turn. And again we have to roll here. Now that's a 10, but this time it's a little different because these are doubles. And whenever you roll doubles, you never... Oh, by the way, this thing is moved one space ahead because we've placed another tile. So whenever you roll doubles, you never move this thing. Even if I would have rolled, let's say, twice a 1, I would not have moved the darkness marker. But we check the depth event chart, and because we rolled doubles 5, we will see here the mine depth events, and it says terrifying shriek. A shriek of pain and suffering echoes through the mine, chilling you to the bone. Each hero in the mines immediately takes D6 horror hits. Oh, that's tough. Well, what we could do is, this guy could use his grid marker and roll again one of these 2 dice to prevent that from happening. Well, could be a good idea. I guess I will do this. I don't want to take all these horror hits. So I'm going to re-roll that die. And he was the guy with the old lantern, he was the one who did do this roll. So he has to spend the grid. And I'm rolling here. And that's a 3. So now it's an 8 and everything is fine. And I don't have to go through this event, through that combat event, or through this depth event chart. Okay. And then the activation starts, and we now have the gunslinger with an initiative of 6 and also the hellbats with an initiative of 6. Problem is, the hellbats will move first because the enemies will always move first if the initiative is tied. Let's see what exactly they will do now. Okay, now let's check this movement. It's not that terribly simple. It's not that bad though, but okay. So the first enemy model targets a random hero that they can reach. Well, first we start with the model that is closest to the heroes. And then within their move distance, okay, blah. The enemy is said to be targeting the selected hero to attack and is moved as far as it can be to a space adjacent to that hero. This will usually have the enemy move to the far side of the hero, getting in behind them and making way for other enemies. Okay, so I get that. It is often a good idea to have the enemy models physically turned to face the hero they are targeting, so that it is very clear where each enemy is placing its attacks. Then the next closest enemy model will target a different random hero with the least number of enemies of that type. This way the enemies are moved to be evenly spread, targeting all of the different heroes. Well, okay. Let's see. So I'm going to start with with one of these two, let's say with that one, and it's one. So I'm not sure if he can move through here. I guess, yeah, he can. Usually it says if there's a 50% is covered, or 50% exists from the space, this is a valid space. So this would be not a valid space because there is less than 50%, but that would be. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it can easily reach each enemy here, or each hero. So let's see. Let's start with that guy. And this is number 1, number 2, number 3. Okay, so this guy will actually attack the gunslinger. So he will move behind the gunslinger. And then we got this one here. And it can now only attack one of the others. Well, basically we could... Well, actually it doesn't matter. We can simply move with this, because everyone will gain one, will get one enemy. So this guy then moves here, just like that. And now the question is, will this guy end up here or here? So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, actually, it could be even here. I think that's more than 50%. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if he moves further away, that means that he will actually move here. Exactly. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, let's get this fight started now. They will now attack. And first, let's see about the abilities. They can fly it. So Helbets move through other models and change targets each turn. Okay. Well, I think it's not interesting as long as there is the same number of targets as Helbets. And it says nightmarish. For every hit done by a Hellbat, the hero also takes one horror hit. Good. So let's see. They have a combat value of 3. And they have a melee value of 3. So we roll 3 dice. And by the way, they have this move value of 12, so they are damn fast. So we roll 3 dice, and let's first do the attack on the gunslinger. Okay, that wasn't that great. So that was just 1 hit, the 3. And now the gunslinger can make a defense roll, and he needs a 5 or higher to be successful here. And he wasn't. So he takes now damage, and the damage of this monster is only 1, so that's not so bad. Then let's do the attack here on the saloon girl. Same thing, but let's take the black dice for the monsters here. Wow, we better shouldn't, huh? Okay, these are 3 hits now. But the saloon girl can now take 3 dice for defense. And she has a defense value of 3, so she's pretty good in this. And she can re-roll 1 failed defense roll. Yeah, so I think she can actually only reroll 1. What? Yeah, because you have to reroll 1 hit after another, I think. You have to resolve 1 hit after another, so you can only we can roll them all 3 right now, I guess, but overall we can only re-roll 1 of the dice. But that was okay, so we can now re-roll this one. Okay, so that was, we take 1 wound, so it's also not that bad, but we only have a health of 8, which is not so great. And I forgot we also take a horror hit. So first the gunslinger takes a horror hit for the wound, and for every hit done by a hellbat. Yeah, okay. So, damn it. She took actually 3 hits, but no wounds, but these were 3 hits. So she has now also to do horror checks, 3 willpower checks. And that wasn't that great, only 1 success. So she takes 2 more sanity hits. And he only took 1 hit, so he can do this willpower roll, and that was a miss. So he also suffers the loss of 1 sanity. And then it's finally the Bandido. He's also attacked by a hellbat. So let's see. That sucked. So 2 hits here. And, well, okay, at least there's nothing special if they roll a 6. So, so these were 2 hits. So we can now roll 2 dice. First for the horror check, I would say. So we need a 5 here. And, well, at least 1 success. Wasn't so bad. And then we can roll again for the defense, and there we only need a 4. Also 1 success, so we also take a wound. Okay, so that was the attack of the Hellbats during the activation phase. So this thing with the acrobatic dodge actually is interesting. Once per turn you may reroll 1 failed defense roll. It's clearly written here, generally a hero wants to roll all of their defense rolls from the current enemy attacks together. So if they need to, they can use a grid to reroll all of the dice that just failed. So I guess it is possible to reroll more than 1 die with this acrobatic dodge. Okay, so let's see. It's now the gunslinger. And the problem is he is still in this area here. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's not great at all. What he can do is, well, he could have taken that one. Anytime a new group of enemies is placed on the board, you may immediately make a free attack outside of the normal turn sequence. Problem is, these guys were not in line of sight, so he could not do that. And now it's too late to do it. So he's simply going to use his pistol, takes 2 shots, and well, he's attacking the guy behind him, I guess. I mean, he has to. Well, basically, I first can't actually shoot, and then I can assign the hits. So I'm going to do that, and I have now a range value of 4 because I'm still in this spider web. So let's see. Whoa, perfect. So we have a critical hit, which is just great. And I'm going to assign that critical hit to this sucker. And so let's see what we can do, how much damage we do. Well, basically it doesn't matter because this guy only has a health of 1, defense of 2, but defense can be ignored. So we will definitely be killed, which is a good thing because that gives me also 10 experience points. And I'm going to assign then the other hit, of course, to this guy. And let's roll how much damage I do. That wasn't so great, but it was enough. 3 minus 2, still 1 left. So I managed to kill both of these hellbats, and that gives me then 20 experience points. Okay, so now it's the saloon girl with an initiative of 5. And she can now use the holdout pistol to do a free attack. Not absolutely sure if I want to do that though. Well, first of all, I'm going to roll for movement. Okay, that's a 2. So I could also move here and use my hunting knife. And then maybe use the holdout pistol against the slasher. Because this guy is pretty nasty. And we might need a few critical hits here. And with this thing, it's pretty easy to do a critical hit. So, or it's not that hard at least. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to wait, and I'm going to move in here to the bandito, next to the bandito, adjacent to this guy. Well, actually I have a movement of 3 because I'm fast, so that means I could also move here. But I don't want to be target of the slasher right at the beginning. So I'm going to move here, and I'm going to use my hunting knife now and try to do a melee combat. I'm pretty good in this. So I got a combat value of 2, plus 1 combat for the hunting knife, that gives me 3. And I need a 4 to be successful. That wasn't so great, but it was at least 1 hit. So if I'm now a little lucky here, I might be able to kill that hellbat. So let's see. We need at least a 3 because of the defense of 2. Yes, fantastic. So we killed that. That was actually her first kill, and that will give her 10 experience points. Okay, and now this guy has an initiative of 4, while the bandito only has an initiative of 3. So that means that the slasher is actually activated before the bandito. So let's see how far the bandito is away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's actually away 6 spaces, and that's a very good thing because the slasher only has a movement of 5. So that means he cannot reach him. He will end up adjacent of him, but he cannot reach him. That's a very useful and important point here. Okay, so that was then the activation of the bandito, and the problem is though, a hero starting the activation adjacent automatically takes 2 horror hits because of the fear. And then he also has this chiton, I don't know, plating. Critical hits only reduce the slasher's defense to 2 rather than 0. And he has a defense of 4 and health 6. So this is not going to be so easy. And we start the activation right now, and we are adjacent to this guy, so we take 2 horror hits. So let's see, we have a willpower of 5, which is not so great, and no, we take 2 sanity damage here. Alright. Okay. And now let's see what we can do. Okay, so because it's not a great idea to stand right next to this guy when you start your turn, I'm going to try to move away. And if I'm adjacent to a monster, then I have to do an escape test. But first I think I can roll for movement. So let's do this. That's a 5. Okay, so these are my movement points. And now I can do this escape test. And let me see, I think it's an agility test, isn't it? Let me see. What? No, you roll simply 1d6. This is it. So you don't have to roll for any special... Okay, well, we'll see about that. So let's do this. It's a 1d6 and we have here escape 3+. So if we roll a 3 or higher, we manage to free ourselves from the claws of this guy and we can move away. So yeah, that was a success, which is good because now we can simply move to a different space. And, well, she has a very high sanity, Gunslinger 2, so I think I'm going to move simply 1-2 spaces and move here, so I can stay adjacent to her, which will give me a bonus later on. And then I'm going to shoot. I'm going to shoot at this guy, and I got 4 shots with my 2 pistols. So let's see. Wasn't that great? I got a range value of 5, so it's only 1 hit, and it's pretty unlikely that I do a lot of damage here. So okay, so that was absolutely no effect here, simply because of the defense of 4. Yeah, so that wasn't great at all. Okay, so this is now the end of the turn. At the end of your hero turn, may heal 1 wound or 1 sanity from every other adjacent hero. Gain 5 experience for each wound sanity healed this way. So what we're going to do is now we're going to heal 1 sanity from this guy with her comforting presence. And just a few nice words. She calms down. And she gains 5 experience points for that. Okay, so it's now the start of the next turn, and actually we will roll again on the depth track. So no problems here, we were successful. And it's the Gunslinger. And he's still standing in this space with the spider webs, so we definitely want to leave that space first. So let's roll a 2. So I will actually move now. I think I'm going to move here. On the other hand, might also move here. Maybe that's a better idea. Yeah, I guess I'm going to move here. And I'm going to attack then the slasher with my pistol. Oh my goodness. So that was pretty bad. A miss. Bad luck. And there's no grid. There's absolutely nothing I can do. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, and then it's the saloon girl. And she will simply use her holdout pistol, shoot at the slasher. Let's hope for the best here. Oops, it's gone. Next shot. Oh, my dear. But we can re-roll Maybe it were. Let's use our spectacles. Man, you forgot to use your spectacles before you... Okay. Yeah, that was better. That's a hit. It's not a critical hit, but it's at least a hit. Let's see if we can do some damage here. Oh, great. Yeah. Pretty bad. Yeah, so then it's the slasher again. And he will now attack a random hero, or he will target a random hero. So that would be 1 and that would be 2. Okay, so in this case it's the first one, it's the gunslinger, and he will simply move here. And he cannot move through models, so he will attack from the front. And so let's see, the guy has... Yeah, he has only a combat value of 2, which is good, but he hits on a 3 or higher. Ugh. Well, that is not so great. And I have a defense of 5, so I'm not sure if I can do that. Nope. That could actually kill me. That could kill me right away. So let's see, we have now, I take 2d6 damage. So we got 2 hits. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I forgot to do my willpower defense. I'm going to do this now. And that was successful. I managed to do this willpower test, so I take no horror, but I'm going to take 2d6 damage now. And I only have 9 health remaining, so that can be the end already. Oh man, I was lucky here. I was really lucky here. Only 4 hits. That was just good. Okay. And yeah, so that was the action of the slasher. And now it's time for the Bandido to do some damage here, man. Just use your 4 guns and shoot right between us through here in the face of the slasher. At least try it. Yeah. Well, that wasn't bad. That was cool. We had 1 critical hit and another hit. So that was pretty good. So let's see, the first hit now. Let's see how much damage we can do. Oh great, so that was completely useless. And here we have the critical hit now. Oh shit. So overall that's only 1 damage because, yeah, he still has a defense of 2. So that's only 1 damage. Great. Well, at least it's a start. And now we're going to see something special. And that is the experience with these big guys. So that works a little different now. Because you do not only get experience if you kill him, you also get experience if you wound him. But that is a little complicated, so I gotta see how that exactly works. Okay, so he gains now, if he does a wound to this creature, he gains the base value here, the 15 experience points, and then plus 5 experience points for each wound he did during this turn. So that means he did 1 wound, so he will gain 20 experience points for doing this wound. If he now did 2 wounds with this shot, let's say, then he would have gained 15, the base value, plus twice 5. So that would give him then 25 experience points. So that's the way this works here. Okay, so next turn now. First we do again this roll. Ah, gosh. Yeah, that's not good, because this is again this shriek. Terrifying shriek. Shriek of pain and suffering echoes through the mind, chilling you to the bone. Each of the minds immediately takes d6 horror hits. And now I don't have an option to cancel that somehow. So first it's the gunslinger, and he takes 1 horror hit, but he still has the opportunity to prevent that from really taking some damage. So yeah, that was good. And then it's the saloon girl, and she takes 2 horror hits. Well, until now I'm pretty lucky, and she can roll 2 dice, and she needs a 4, and she wasn't successful here, so she loses 2 more sanity. And that's pretty bad, because I mean, she has a high sanity value, but she already lost 8, and that sucks. And now it's the Bandito, and yeah, he should also not lose too much, I guess. If he's really extremely unlucky, he might go insane now, but I don't think so. Oh, come on! So he takes six damage, but we're not done here. He can try to prevent these. So he can roll 6 times, but he needs a 5 to be successful here. Oh man. Okay, at least two successes. So he takes 4 damage here, which is pretty bad actually. Okay, and that also means that we better don't activate next to the slasher, because then, because of the fear, we would take 2 horror hits, and that's a good chance then to go insane. Okay. So now it's the gunslinger again. What he will do now is he will throw away the bandages. He will discard the bandages and try to heal some wounds here. So let's see, there is this player 8 here. And great. Well, there is a player 8 that explains the advantage. Maybe that one? Okay, I found it. So that's discard to heal d6 wounds. And you can also heal another person with that. So, for example, she could also discard her bandages to heal him. And I think then she could use the grid to re-roll that roll, I guess, because it seems to me like that it's actually her action. But anyway, now he discarded his. Well, maybe that's not so clever. I mean, maybe I won't do it. No, maybe I should do it the other way. Maybe I should actually heal him, because if you heal another person, you get experience points for that. Everybody, not only she, everybody will get experience points if she heals another person. So now let's see. Well, he probably does not want to activate next to the slasher. So he wants to make an escape test here, and he needs a 3 or higher. And he didn't have that. Okay, so then let's roll for movement. Ah, great, that's a 6. That doesn't help at all. Should have been the other way around. Okay, I rolled for movement because if I had rolled a 1, I would have gained a grid token, which would have been nice. Okay, so I'm going to use my pistol now and shoot at the slasher. And I need a 3 or higher. Yes. Well, at least a critical hit. That's pretty good. And I might now think about using this dead-end shot. But let's see what we roll now. We need a good roll now. Come on. Would be great if we could finish him off, because he's really nasty. Well, actually, I forgot to roll for this this horror roll. I activated next to him, so I had to. But first, let's see how much damage we can do now. Yes, that's pretty good. That should do it. So the damage is reduced by 2 because of this plating, but I can now use my Deadeye shot and add again 2, and so I'll do a damage of 5, and this is just enough to kill that guy. So that was pretty good, and it also gives me some experience points. So I will gain 15 experience points and 25, 5 for each wound. So that would be then 40 experience points. Nice. And in addition, I have to check for this horror roll here. Because of the fear, I forgot that. So I could now, I need to roll 2 dice, and on a 4 or higher I'm successful. So I take 1 horror here, or 1 sanity. And then we killed the slasher. Well, that was pretty nasty. Okay, so now we can catch our breath. And now each hero can heal D3 wounds, health or sanity. So first it's the gunslinger. Okay, so that's 2, so that allows him to heal 2 wounds. So he has now 7 health left, which is fine, I guess. So I think I will not use my bandages right now. And then the saloon girl. Oh, and she will definitely heal some sanity here. But she's still very, very frightened, and sadly we don't have any whiskey with us. And then it's the bandito, and he also wants to heal some sanity. Oh gosh. Boys, relax, it's not so bad. I've seen worse situations in my gaming life, so why are you afraid? No real reason here. Okay. Okay. Well, she could actually use the grid, but I think that's not worth it. There's a pretty high chance that I don't roll better here, so I think I will not use that. Then we can all draw a loot card. We got to shuffle them again. Okay, so let's draw the loot cards now. The gunslinger starts, and that's pretty cool. This should come in handy. Draw a gear card and the 20 experience points. So let's see what we draw. Well, that's an outlaw pistol. That doesn't help. Only the outlaw can use that. Is there an outlaw? No. Yeah, the bandito is actually an outlaw. So that's cool. He has written outlaw. So we can give this right to the bandito, and he then can use the outlaw pistol. It is a gun. He can use the outlaw pistol instead of of his standard pistol, and that then will allow him then to roll an additional die. But we gotta be careful, we gotta roll different now, because this one only does a critical hit against adjacent targets. So we got to be... But I think it's still worth it. I'm not sure. I mean, we might decide from time to time, actually. I think you simply can't decide which pistol to draw. So if a target is adjacent to us, we could use the outlaw. Oh, that's an interesting question. Well, we don't have to decide this right now, actually. We could also give now a pistol to the gunslinger. Simply because he then could use 2 pistols. But if you use 2 pistols, you cannot do a critical hit anymore. So I'm not sure if this is such a great idea, actually. On the other hand, I'm pretty good in shooting, and maybe it's a good idea to do this. I think I will. I think I will give the pistol. We're standing all right next to each other, so that should not be a problem. I will give the pistol to the gunslinger. Problem is, he cannot do a critical hit anymore if he shoots with 2 pistols. At least that's what I think. Dual wielding. Here. A hero that has 2 single-handed ranged weapons may fire both as a single ranged attack. There is a penalty to this, though, in that the attack may not get critical hits for either of the 2 weapons. Let's see. So I'm sorry, my English makes a problem. Does that mean now for one of the 2 weapons or for both? Because this says you may fire 2 guns per turn with no penalty for the offhand gun. That seems to imply to me that he can still do critical hits with, let's say, with his right-hand gun, but not with the other gun. That makes also sense in a thematic way. So if I'm wrong here, I would check what exactly either means. If I'm wrong here, please let me know. But I guess he can do a critical hit with one of the 2 guns. And the outlaw is the other guy. Okay, but that's cool. That's just perfectly fine. So that was a good item. And in addition, 20 experience points. And then it's the saloon girl. Let's see what she finds. Well, these are gold bars. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. $250 for the saloon girl. And finally, the bandito. And he finds dark stone rock. So let's roll a die and see how much is it. It is. How many? Ah, shit. Again, we were not lucky with the dark stone. Only 1. Okay, so let's see, that was now the gunslinger. That was the gunslinger's turn. He killed the slasher. And now it's still the hero's turn, of course, and it's now the saloon girl. And basically I think she wants to stay there to heal the 2 other guys, which is a pretty strong and powerful ability. So we roll a die. That's 2, just for movement here. And then we can heal a wound from the gunslinger, and we can heal a sanity from this guy. Okay. We might actually simply wait there for another turn. I think we have much time in this scenario, so we can play that safe, I guess. And that gives her now 10 experience points. Well, actually I messed this up. I could have done this at the end of the hero turn, not right now. But that won't change anything because I will not move with him. Maybe I will. No, I won't. I won't move with him. So yeah, simply roll if I get some grit. And yes, I will actually, because I rolled a 2. And this guy, because of his wild card, will recover a grit on a roll of 1 or 2. Okay, and now I can do this healing action with the Saloon Girl. And that's the end of the hero turn. And then we do another one of these rolls, and that's a 3, so this is not so great. That means now we come to a blood splatter marker. Or a space, and that means we have to draw a darkness card. One of these cards here. So let's see what that is. Well, that says Strength of the Void. All void enemies are now +1 defense. Remains in play. Well, okay. I think that could be worse. And yeah, so that's that was basically that. We can start the turn again, and it's again the gunslinger, and we simply wait another round here, I guess. So roll the die. That's a 3. Well, actually we can now all move together. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. We should stay together, but we will move here and explore the next room. I don't see any problem doing so. Yes, I can. 1, 2, 3. I can move like this. Okay, fine. So, and then I'm going to look into this new room, and I'm going to draw a card. Okay, so that is a short passage, and it says no exploration token. So that's simply one of these, I guess, yeah. And we simply place it like that. Okay, and by the way, this goes up now because we've placed a new token here. We placed a new map tile, but nothing special happened here. And then it's the Saloon Girl again. And she has a 3. She's fast, so she can actually move 4. But I'm not sure if I want to do that, because if I move here, the Bandito might not be able to... Well, he can enter this space. That is possible. So if he has a 2, yeah, it should be fine. So I guess I'm going to move in here. And finally, it's the Bandito. And that's a 2, and he just made it. He just comes after us. So, yeah, he manages to catch up. And, yeah, he's now also adjacent to the Saloon Girl. And that means we can now heal again. So that means the gunslinger will heal 1 wound, and the Bandito will heal 1 sanity, and that gives again 10 experience points for the Saloon Girl. Okay, and you might have noticed I didn't place an exploration marker in here, and that wasn't a mistake, because you only place exploration markers in rooms, in bigger rooms, and not in these small passages. And it's also written here, no exploration token. Okay, I think I'm going to stop here. Well, This video series will take a while, I guess, but it's fun. I enjoy it. I'm a little concerned about the size of the map, actually. I really wonder. Let's take a look at these. At one of the adventure books. Let's take a look at how big these maps can be at the end. Here we got a fixed map mission here, for example, which seemed to be pretty big. Here, like that. Yeah. I have my doubts that this would fit on my table. Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe just... I think it's a little too wide, actually. Maybe from the length it would have been okay. I have another table which is a little wider. Not much. Maybe that might work. Otherwise I must somehow place them together. Oh man, this is crazy. Anyway, I'm pretty sure in a short while I have to place another board here. I have to, well, all reorganize this, place that on another board, which is bigger, so that I can place my character sheets over here too, so that I have enough room for the map. Which, yeah, I underestimated this, definitely. It's really big. This is really big. I mean, what we could do is, of course, we could remove this part here at the end, but that's kind of sad, you know what I mean? I mean, it's cool to see the whole map. Well, I don't know, actually. I'm not sure what I do, actually. Let's see. So, hope to see you in my next video. Until then, bye.